Good day everyone, I am Miss Jasmine Alice Takio and today we will going to discuss curriculum evaluation models. But before that, join me to read this quote. Evaluation in class is the compass for refining teaching methods, guiding students, and driving continuous improvement in education. As you read the quote, what do you think the meaning of evaluation is? Yes, correct. Evaluation is a tool, a very essential tool for the teachers. Do you recall Ralph Tyler and Hilda Taba model? Which is, it states that the curriculum ends with evaluation, which means evaluation is a big idea that collectively tells about the value or worth of something that was done. It measures authentic results and guide for the betterment. Ibig sabihin, evaluation help teachers to monitor the improvement of their learners. And if hindi na-meet ang goal, kung ano man ang goals ng teachers sa iyang classroom settings due to low results in the evaluation, magkaroon chance ang isa ka teacher to strategize, to change his or her teaching methods na suit or fit to his or her students to collectively to collect a positive or good evaluation results. To figure out how good a part of the curriculum is, experts have suggested various models, and these models are like tools, which as I said earlier, it is a tool that can assess authentic results from the students that teachers and practitioners can use to evaluate and understand different aspects of the curriculum. Okay, so our first model is Bradley's effectiveness model for curriculum development indicators. In this model, it provides indicators that measures the effectiveness of different curricula. To answer or to use it, one should identify the specific curriculum and answer yes or no to a certain questions. If all answers are yes, it means it is aligned in the criteria of Bradley and it is a well-designed curriculum. We have here the vertical curriculum continuity. The question here is, does the curriculum reflects the format that enables teachers quickly access what is being taught in the grade year level, below or above the current level? So here in vertical curriculum continuity, it refers to the smooth and concurrent progression of educational content and skills across different grade levels or educational stages. It involves a seamless flow of curriculum content from one grade or educational level to the next. And if it answers yes, it means it is aligned, it is a well-designed curriculum. Next, we have the horizontal curriculum continuity. Does the curriculum provide content and objectives that are common to all classes of the same grade level? So what do you think is the difference between the vertical and horizontal? So in vertical continuity, it deals with progress across different grade level, while the horizontal continuity addresses consistency and integration within the same grade level. And again, if it's answered yes, it means it is well-designed curriculum. Next, we have the instruction based on curriculum. Our lesson plans, syllabi, course design derived from the curriculum and strategies, our materials used correlated with the content, objectives, and activities. So here we have to align our curriculum, or align ba ang curriculum sa instructional objectives sa imong ILO. Ang imo ba ginatudo sa mga bata is align sa imong ILO. For here's the example is, in your instructional learning objectives, the learner should be able to identify figures of speech. And then, ang gitudo mo sa ila is the verb or use of verbs. So, do you think it is aligned or it is valid sa mga bata? If hindi siya connected sa imong ILO, which is ma-identify nila ang figures of speech, pero ang imong gitudlo is verbs. So, it means, if it's no, a teacher should make it yes. So, it means kailangan niya itudlo kung anong iyang ILO, i-align ang iyang objectives sa iyang ginatudlo. Next, we have the broad involvement. Is there evidence of involvement of the different curriculum stakeholders in the planning, designing, and implementation and review of the curriculum? May ara ba sa involvement ang mga stakeholders sa pag-plan? If yes, then it is aligned with Bradley's criteria and it is a well-designed curriculum. Next, we have the long-range planning. Is review cycle followed in the period of planning and implementation of the curriculum? Nasunod ba kung ano ang giplan mo? Kung ano ang giplano mo sa iyong mga pagtudlo? For example, you're targeted 1 hour or your plan is to end the session within the 1 hour. And then, naglampas na sa 2 hours, 3 hours. Do you think it is aligned? Or nasunod mo ba kung ano ang giplano mo? Or if na-fit mo man siya na-perform natudlo sa mga bata within the 1 hour session, it means yes, your curriculum is aligned and it is well designed. Next, we have the positive human relations. Did the initial thoughts about the curriculum come from teachers, principals, curriculum leaders, and other stakeholders? Ang imo bang curriculum na pag-isipan ng isang teacher or ng imo ng kapitbahay? If the teacher or kasali ang stakeholders sa pag-plan or sa pag-isip sa curriculum, yes, it is well-designed and aligned to what is the criteria of Bradley. Next, you have the theory into practice. Is there clarity of vision, mission, graduation outcomes, program, philosophy, learning outcomes in the curriculum? Align ba siya kung ano ang vision, mission, may ara ba siya, may makita ka ba nila may ara ka ba nila vision sa iyong mga curriculum na kalabasan or positive impact for the students? If yes, it is a well-designed curriculum. Next is plan change. Are there tangible evidence to show that the internal and external publics accept the developed program? May ara ba sa updates made to the educational program? May ara ba sa involvement of revising learning objectives, updating teaching methods, incorporating new materials, strategies, adjusting assessment strategies? If yes, it is aligned to Bradley's criteria and it is a well-designed curriculum. So our next model, entitled Basic Principles of Curriculum and Instruction. So this model was proposed by Ralph Kleiner in 1950, and this curriculum evaluation model is until now continues to influence many curriculum assessment processes. Here we have number 1, we have the objectives or intended learning outcomes. Here, it should be predetermined intended learning outcomes or objective. Mean there is an advanced planning sa ILO. There is an advanced planning kung ano ang dapat itudlo or anong unod sa learning session sa isang teacher. And next, we have situation or context. Identify the situation context that gives opportunity to develop behavior or achieve objectives. Here, kailangan ma-identify sa isa kang teacher kung anong issues, kung anong concerns in forward classrooms. Kailangan ma-identify sa teacher kung ano pa ang kailangan na i-adjust, i-enhance, and ibago sa methods, sa strategies, or sa behaviors ng mga students. in order to, syempre, if ma-adjust ng teacher or if ma-identify ng teacher ang issue kailangan baguhan. It is an advantage also sa teacher para mabago rin ang iyang strategies, ang iyang methods sa iyang teaching session throughout learning process. Next, we have the evaluation instruments. Here, construct evaluation instruments or tools. Siyempre, naka-include ang assignment, activities, tests that can be used by the teacher to evaluate or assess students. Utilization of tools. Utilize the tools to obtain results. Compare the results obtained from several instruments before and after to determine the change. If na-determine nyo na, if mayroon isang instrument na magamit ay teacher, for example, activities, kailangan talaga ito sa teacher in order to monitor the improvements of the students. Kailangan niya i-compare ang result from the previous evaluation and until now. Kung may nabago ba, if effective ba ang strategies na iyang nagamit. And through that, nakalapsan sila is here in number 5, analysis of results. Analyze the results obtained to determine the strength and weaknesses. Identify possible explanation about the reasons for the particular pattern. Here, if na-identify, if nakabuo ka na sa instruments, nagamit na ang instruments, ma-analyze mo na ang results. If na-analyze na ang results, there's a possibility of outcomes of the weaknesses and the strengths of your students. For example, in a classroom setting, you give an activity of singing. Pero not all of your students are good in singing. Not all of your students are singers. So, possible na mayroong outcomes na, let's say, 70% of your students are not singers. So 70% of the scores are low. Or sabihin, may weakness sa mga strategy na activities na ginagawa. Through that, pwede mo ma-change na kailangan sa performances, hindi lang singing, kailangan naman mag-involve roleplay, dancing, spoken poetry, na lahat belong. Para magpantay-pantay or makita mo talaga kung ano or the suitable activities that your students can do. Next, we have the utilization of results. Use the results to make the necessary modifications. Here, nakuha mo na, ay nakaplan ka na sa intended learning outcomes. Na-identify mo na ang situation, meron na concerns. Na-evaluate mo na kung ano ang gamitin mo ng tools or instruments. Na-utilize mo na ang tools, na-analyze mo na ang results. Lastly, we have the utilization of results. Sa paggamit sa results, na-identify mo na talaga ang overall results of the evaluation. So, it's the role or responsibility of the teacher to know kung ano ang next. If the result is positive, if lahat is matataas, na-meet ang goal mo, kung ano ang goal mo or aim mo in the classroom, then you can proceed to your next topic. You can proceed to your next lesson plan, IOO. If not, if hindi siya na-meet, you have to proceed to your planning of adjustment of strategies and methods. Next, we have the next models which will be tackled by Ms. Ovalde.
The next evaluation model is the model of Daniel Staffel-Beam Context, Input, Process, and Product Model, or the CIPP. CIPP was a product of the Fidelta Committee chaired by Daniel Staffel-Beam. So the model was made emphasis that the result of evaluation should provide data for decision making. So the main aim of this evaluation, it is more focused on the providing data for decision making. So there are 4 stages of program operation, which are the context, input, process, and the product evaluation. So context evaluation, it assesses in the needs and problems for decisions maker to determine the goals and objective of the program curriculum. So in this model, in context, it's just it focus more on the goal to assess or to have solution on that particular problem for the decision maker to determine the goals and objective of the program curriculum. Next one is the input evaluation. It assesses alternatives, means based on the inputs for the achievements of objectives to help decision maker to choose options for the optimal means rather. So the main aim of this evaluation, the input evaluation, is to construct a plan to assess the alternative means based on the input of the achievement. And the next one is the process evaluation. Process evaluation is, it monitors the process both to ensure that the means are actually implemented and make necessary modification. So, in short, it put actions into the curriculum, which it provide the process on developing the curriculum. Next one is the product evaluation. So it compares actual ends with the intended ends and leads to a series of recycling decision. So now it is the process of identifying the outcomes, where you are going to find out what the actual ends with the intended ends leads to the series of recycling decision. So there are stages of CIPP models. So we have 4 stages of CIPP model, and we have 6 steps taken in all these stages. So number 1 is the context evaluation, number 2 the input, 3 process, and number 4 the product. So the step 1 is identify the kind of decision to be made, identify the kinds of the data to make the decision. That is step 2. And step 3, collect the data needed. Step 4 is establish the criteria, determine quality of data. Step 5, analyze data based on the criteria. And step 6, organize needed information needed to make for decision makers. So the next evaluation model is the stake responsive model. It is oriented more directly to program activities than program intents. Evaluation focus more on the activities rather than the intents of purposes. So I have some advantage and disadvantage about this kind of evaluation model. So the disadvantage of the stake responsive model, that it is a subjective, labor intensive, not suitable for making generalization or developing theories. It is stress complexity rather than simplicity. And for the advantages, it is direct attention to the needs of those for whom an evaluation is done, and looks at the program from different viewpoints, flexible to unique needs participation, and relies on the insider knowledge. And it also allows the researchers to evaluate to responsive focus on the issues that are priority and likely to lead good decision making, because it provides answer to questions that our participants are asking. So the curriculum evaluator has step 9 to follow. So the step 1 is meets the stakeholder to identify their perspective intention regarding curriculum evaluation. Step 2, drawn from step 1 document to determine the scope of the evaluation. Step 3 is it observed the curriculum closely to identify the unintended sense of implementation and any deviation from announced intents. Step 4, identify the stated real purposes of the program and the various audiences. Step 5 identifies the problem of the curriculum evaluation or at hand and identifies an evaluation design when needed data. Step 6 selects the means needed to collect data or information. Step 7 implements the data procedure. Step 8 organize the information into teams. Step 9 decides with stakeholders the most appropriate formats for the report. So the last curriculum evaluation model is the Scriven Consumer-Oriented Evaluation. So Michael Scriven in 1967 introduced this evaluation among many others when education products flooded the market. So consumers of educational products which are needed to support an implemented curriculum often use consumer-oriented evaluation. So these products are used in schools which require a purchasing decision. These products include textbook, modules, educational technology like softwares and other instructional materials. Even teachers and schools themselves nowadays write and produce these materials for their own purposes. Consumer-oriented evaluations uses criteria and checklists as a tool for either formative or summative evaluation purpose. So the use of criteria and checklist was proposed by Scriven for adoption by educational evaluators. So as you can see here, it has a preliminary information which include the title, the authors, and the publisher, and copyrighted material evaluator, and also it has also the criteria that contains such as like a checklist or it has a characteristic displayed, or it says yes or good, alright but not so good, no or poor, and not applicable. So it has 10 level of performance. So this is the last model of curriculum evaluation model that it is like a checklist or a tool for either formative summative evaluation purpose. So the use of this criteria and checklist, it was proposed by Scriven for adoption for educational evaluators.